Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great day. I have Trey here. What's up, Trey?
Hey, how's it going, Jason? So good to hear you.
It's very nice to hear you too. Um, oh, by the way, Trey, could you turn down your on your voice changer? Turn it down just a little bit.
How
But
about that? Does that sound great?
yeah, it sounds great. All right, give me a beatbox.
I hope you're ready because I'm doing it inside the voice mode right now.
Oh, but you know that's not going to sound good.
You're
All
right. I
right.
should just do this instead.
Wow. Okay, guys, how are you doing? I gotta try. Only if I do it forever, I'm wondering why. What am I gonna do it if I never get through? I write these songs and I keep them true. Even though Trey sometimes is acting so silly, looking like a Billy, only if he can and really, cause he knows what he's doing. Pursue his lifetime with a crazy last, like I still don't even know why. Chucky's not gonna get me. I'm not afraid of it, only if I can't pretend that I'm not waking it and faking it. Now I cannot shake it on. Now I'm waiting on. You don't even know me, y'all. You want me to rap, but I'm feeling strong. Anyways, we're gonna have a good day. We got CJ Goodwyn, and anyway, talk about his movie and all those things. How you got the eyes of the room and they'll sing. Out of control, out of my three. We got Trey, he's gonna act so silly. And I know that we gotta fill this time. I gotta rap when I rip and I roll this rhyme. Flip down fine with the fine to find me. Rhyme for the light, but the lime is lightly. Likely I might be everything I called to be. And did you shake me down? Only if I can't run around, I feel ill. Thinking that I got it everywhere else and chill. Only if you knew that I was ever gonna be that one dude that writes songs, yes, sirree. Now I gotta get it gone, rip it on, rip it on. Now you wanna step it because you feel it for the decade dawn. Guess we're done, and that's what I say. And only if I can't pretend to rhyme this way. Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all of your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. Well, hello, guys, and welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
Great day. We have an amazing guest, CJ Goodwyn. Hello.
Sheesh.
I know, I can't
Hey
say
guys.
it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. So excited to talk about your movie and your career and all the cool things you do. But let's first start with, let me get ready to press the button, Trey. Headlines of the week.
Let's get it. All right. So I've got a good one.
All right.
Lactose almost shut down my computer.
Nice.
That's all I got to say. And I'll wrap back around and tell you what more about that.
I left my son on a street corner.
Wow. All right, CJ.
I won Fear Factor.
Oh, dang it. Every time.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was let's see, what is today? Monday? Last week it was probably like Thursday or Friday, and for whatever reason, I left a glass of milk in my room. And it was on my desk. And it's right in front of my keyboard. And for whatever reason, I'm waking up around 3:15 because, I don't know, I start work at 5 in the morning. And I go to grab my glasses and I hear something spill. And so I'm half awake. I literally and immediately jump out of bed, turn on the lights, and remember that I have a cup of milk that has been sitting overnight
Oh, no.
in my room that is now all over my desk and all over the floor.
Oof.
It misses my keyboard by this much. And what I mean by that is it spills all over like my little palm rest thing on the Corsair. And it literally is on the lip of my keyboard. And it misses my soundboard or my mixer right here on the floor and everything else. And it's only on the carpet. So it almost destroyed everything. So I will learn my lesson to never bring in a drink without a lid. So anyway, that's my headline of the week, and I'm done.
Nice, nice. Well, today was the first day of school, and so I had to drop my son off at school today, which was weird because I've been home with him for the 5 years of his life, and so to spend a whole day without him and not have work to do or not have an actual gig or something that I'm doing, it's weird. And so he had a really fun day. He had snack and lunch and all those things, but it was weird just to let him go and be like, "I'll pick you up in 8 hours." Normally, even when he does a class, I'll be waiting for him. But in this situation, it was like, no, I'm gonna let you go to school now. And,
Okay.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
That it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
yeah. Although I can't make them all hysterical. I try.
I want to hear CJ's story.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, I was told coming on didn't have to be the exact like week or the week before.
Oh, no.
You're fine.
No one knows.
So I did win Fear Factor, but it was at Universal Studios in Orlando when they used to have their Studio Factor show at the park.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty funny. We were walking around at the time. It's probably when I was back in college. My brother and I and our girlfriends, and we're walking by, and they're like, "Oh, y'all should do it." I'm like, "No, I don't want to do it because I'm not going to eat any of that stuff." And then the lady came out that works there. It's like, "It's only stunts." So I'm like, "All right." And so my brother and I went to sign up. We're standing in the lineup. They picked like 40 people, and I was like number 3, and they went past me. And then they chose my brother. So I'm like, I'm like laughing at them. Like, you have to go on the show. Then they came back and picked me too. And so we went, man.
That's awesome.
We went on the show, and the person actually running the stunt part of it was Gozer from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I met
What?
that lady, and she strapped me in these harnesses, and we're out there doing all these crazy stunts. And the people there made a mistake, the other contestants, because you had to partner up. And they're like, "Look, if you want to be with your brother, that's fine." I'm like, "Well, that was a mistake because, we're sports guys and we play sports together." And so once we
Sure.
kinda locked in, we just dominated. And then him and I made it to the finals, and then I killed him in the finals.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was cool. They gave us like 4 free park tickets we could use like whenever we wanted, like never expires, and it was a good time. It was a fun thing.
That's actually super cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Did it air or anything? I mean,
No.
can I watch this somewhere?
Apparently it did. My mom saw it on TV. I've actually never seen it on TV, but they were filming us that day. I was like part of all the, confidentiality, NDAs, all that stuff.
Right.
And so apparently it's out there somewhere. So
That's
amazing.
super cool. I'll have to like deep dive on this. This is awesome.
yeah, if you find it, send it my way. I've never seen it on the
Right.
television.
What do you think the title would be?
I mean, probably. I'm assuming Universal Studios would be in the title with some of it. I'm assuming, but
Interesting.
but yeah,
We're gonna have to find this.
Yeah, I think they're just promoting.
I'll
obviously, Fear
talk
Factor.
to our research team, Trey, so they spend some time on it.
Right. The
There you
ones
go.
that you pay, right?
Yeah.
They're in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
They're my children.
Oh my gosh. Well, CJ, Jason, I hope you guys are ready for my favorite part of our show today. And cue Jason, because it's time for a quiz. And I'm cueing the air horn now. Phenomenal. Okay. So, you got the email that I sent you, right, CJ?
Nope.
Well, I'm glad that you're honest because I didn't send you anything.
Yeah.
Because I normally try to mess with our guests before we start. So it is about horror movies.
All right.
And I hope it plays to CJ's favor because our guests will learn more about that later. Jason, you are a very huge fanatic of horror movies, right?
Mm-hmm. You know I'm not. You already know how I feel about this.
You should at least know some knowledge about them, right?
Well, now here's the thing. I do have my dad and my sister are horror fanatics, and then so I do have a little information about horror movies, if they're like old school. But
Okay, perfect.
And I guess The Ring for you counts as old school, so that's funny.
You like horror books too, though. So
Yes.
That's what Jason was telling me. He likes horror books, so
He can read them. He probably just can't watch any horror shows or movies. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. This is a multiple choice quiz. Some are open answer, but they're mainly multiple choice. CJ and Jason, you guys will both get to answer every question on here. You guys will both get to answer the question. One of you will get dibs first, and hopefully can help the other one out. But whoever has the most points at the end wins. And without further ado, CJ, you're up first. What was the 20th century's first American horror film?
Ooh.
Is it A, Dracula? Is it B, Creature from the Black Lagoon? Is it C, Frankenstein? Or is it D, Night of the Living Dead?
I'm gonna go No, I don't know. Oh man, I'm gonna go Frankenstein. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jason, same question. Is it Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, or Night of the Living Dead?
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay. I like that answer. It's a wrong answer, but I like the answer. Congratulations, CJ. You got our first question correct. It is Frankenstein. And on to the next one. Jason, the synopsis below the synopsis I'm about to read most accurately represents what horror film? A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. See, you might know some. Is it the North Pole? Is it Jack Frost? Is it South of Sanity? Or is it The Thing?
I want it to be like an awesome horror Jack Frost movie, but I know it's The Thing.
It could be.
It is not. I know this much.
Okay, CJ, same question. Is it the North Pole, Jack Frost, South of Sanity, or The Thing?
The Thing.
Phenomenal. You guys both get it correct. South of Sanity actually is a horror film, and it is filmed entirely in Antarctica.
Wow.
So a little fun tidbit of the day. CJ, next question. In which horror film does the phrase, the power of Christ compels you appear? Is it Nightmare on Elm Street? Is it Friday the 13th? Or is it The Exorcist?
The Exorcist.
Okay. Jason, same question.
Exorcist.
Okay. Yeah, you both are correct. Congratulations. It is actually one of the, I'm trying to think, was it the scariest movie of its time? There was some award that it got, correct? CJ would know.
For sure it was. Yeah, whenever that came out, I know it was the scariest movie at the time. People were like passing out and puking in the theaters and going home terrified. So.
Wow. When I was around, it probably wasn't in the theaters. I wish I could have experienced that because I love horror movies. But anyway, on to the next question.
You weren't alive yet, Trey.
You said what?
You weren't alive yet, were you?
That's what I said.
Yeah. I wasn't either.
Yeah, I was, guys. I'm an old man.
Yeah, because you're old. So Jason, what horror? Oh, sorry. No, yeah. What horror film used the following tagline? Is in space, no one can hear you scream.
Ooh,
is it Predator?
I know this.
Is it Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Is it Alien?
It's Alien.
Okay, CJ, same question. Predator, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or Alien?
Man, I'm not sure. Like, I know it's not Predator, but I'm gonna go Aliens, I think, as well.
Phenomenal. That's the correct answer. You guys are like popping off. Jason hates horror films and he's getting these. What the freaking heck?
Again, you're choosing movies that my family made me watch as a kid. Part of the reason why I'm afraid of horror films is because of all these movies I know about.
Well, great, because the next couple will stump you. So get wrecked.
Good.
CJ, what is the highest grossing Stephen King film adaptation to date? Is it The Shining? Is it Misery? Is it Chapter 1 of It?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll go with Chapter 1, It.
Okay. Jason?
It's probably that, but I'm going to go with Misery just to be different.
Okay. Yeah, it's completely It, the remake, Chapter 1. It worldwide, it has earned $700 million. That's pretty insane. And I know that he's made some recent ones, but everyone wanted to watch it. Everyone knows it. I think it was like the longest running novel he'd ever created, or like one of the longest books ever made. But anyway, so that is the correct answer. And this one is for the coup de grace, the Mansion in the Yacht, and actually one of my favorite horror films. Where is, and this is an open question, and I just thought of this one because I don't want to do any of the other questions. So, where is, and this will go to Jason first, where is As Above, So Below filmed?
As Above, So Below is a movie?
Yes.
It's not
It's one of my favorite horror movies.
It's not a song from Barney?
Nope. Man, I really hope not.
Oslo, Norway.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, sure, good. I thank you for answering. CJ, have you seen As Above, So Below?
I have.
All right. Do you know where it was filmed, or at least, you know?
Well, I know. The problem is my memory here is escaping me on the actual geography side of things, because I know it's like filmed in the catacombs, and I should kind of know where that is.
Right.
But for some reason, I have the mental
so where?
block.
I didn't say he's right yet, but he hasn't even answered the question. So
I think it's maybe like, oh my gosh, maybe like in Paris or somewhere around there, England, something like that. I'm not sure.
Now, before I say anything, Jason, I want to say you did really well on the quiz. But CJ, you win. Congratulations.
Oh, come on.
So yeah, As Above, So Below is one of my favorite horror films. It is about the Paris catacombs, and for those who have not seen it, spoiler, it's coming. It is ultimately they want to get the Philosopher's Stone, and it gets pretty buck wild. And I love their filming. It is not solely first-person camera view, because I hate that when the camera's shaking and you have no idea what's going on. But I love the whole history of the Paris catacombs and how crazy it gets. But yeah, so CJ, congratulations. You won our quiz section of our show. And I hope we have some NFT coming your way sometime soon. We have to create one so that we can give some to our guests, because there's a lot of people that are owed NFTs.
It's yeah.
I think I aced that too, by the way. I think I got everyone right.
I think you did. Congratulations. You're one of the few contestants that have gotten every question correct.
I was a little... Well, I knew, like, I remember, I think that title, the poster has the Eiffel Tower on it. So I'm like,
right,
pretty sure it's Paris. And I think my favorite part in that scene is like the car scene, like underneath the catacombs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a pretty...
That one is where he, I'm trying to think. It's a burning car, and then he gets sucked into a vortex, and you just see his legs. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
anyway,
he's trying to save his brother, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish they would have gone into the backstory of that, but obviously the movie was very, vague on a lot of their past. So, but anyway, yeah. Congratulations, cool. CJ. Wait, Jason, why is it in our show today?
Well, when I asked CJ what he can do for a better year, he said make difficult choices and do the right thing. What does that mean? Why doing that would make for a better year, CJ?
Well, it kind of stems into the film and the story I was writing. I feel like a lot of people in our world can kind of get stuck, basically. And so let's say, just as an example, you have a job that you do not like, but you continue to go every single day. And why? Well, a lot of the reasons why we do that is because we have to provide for our family, so we don't think we have a choice. Even though you do have a choice. It just depends on how much time and effort you want to put in to change your path, basically. And so that's just a small example. It can go from anywhere from arguing with your mom and dad on stuff all the way to politics, just about making choices. And that kind of stemmed me into writing this film, Eyes of a Roman, where our characters in this film were tasked with making a lot of tough choices and then showing the consequences that go with it, whether good or bad, which, again, happens in everyday life. So...
That's amazing. And I said, we're so excited to talk to you about your movie, Eyes of a Roman, and your process of being a filmmaker. First off, how did you get into movies?
It was probably about 9 or 10 years ago. I didn't go to film school. I'm self-taught, kind of like Nolan and Tarantino and those guys. Um, and we actually went to go watch some horror films. I take my mom like every Thanksgiving. We actually go watch 2 or 3 movies during Thanksgiving,
Oh, that's awesome.
sort of our thing we do. And this year, that one of those years, it just happened to be a lot of horror. And just like everyone out there, we all critique and have opinions on movies we like. And I'm watching these, I'm like, God, they spent like 50 million on this, and it just doesn't. I'm not feeling it, man. And my mom's like, well, why don't you make a film? I was like, well, maybe I will. And that kind of what kickstarted me to do it. Now, when I was growing up, I always enjoyed film. I always acted like I was Jim Carrey, doing the Ace Ventura stuff.
Oh, perfect.
And so it was already there. And I think a lot of people they wait because they have other things. I got kids, I got a job, I got this. I'll get to it eventually.
Right.
And I was getting to that point. I think I was about 30 when I was like, there's never going to be just the time that's going to be like calm enough just to start. Like if you want to do this, you're gonna have to jump in and do it now, and then just add this to your plate. So I did, and I'm glad I did. It's been a great journey. I'm on my 4th featured film we're working on right now, which is Sherlock Holmes, which we can talk about a little later because that's going to be a horror/drama.
Okay.
And, yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of how I got into filmmaking. That's what started the domino, basically. So.
That's awesome, and I think it's so interesting because when I was seeing that, I'm like, it's consistent that you've done all these films. Like you finish a film and you start a new film, and you're in your own production company, correct?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing to watch.
Congratulations.
It's amazing to watch somebody just go, no, I'm gonna keep on grinding at this, and I think that's an awesome. See that you're consistent with your films and releases. As a musician, there are definitely times where, as my self-producer, I definitely take some breaks because I have no money left for the thing. But I appreciate that you've been doing it. Now, this right now, the Eyes of Roman is your 3rd feature. And most of your features before this were horror movies. Why did you decide to shift from a horror movie to this more dramatic action situation?
Sure. I think in the industry sometimes directors or actors can kind of get pinned down as working in a certain genre, and that's sort of like their forte. Myself, I'm actually like a lot of different genres. I started off with horror just because in my opinion, it was a little bit easier path to take instead of going off and doing this epic drama with like very deep dialogue. And, your first film or two, you're kind of learning a lot, especially if you're, like myself and you wear a lot of hats.
Absolutely.
But I loved the Roman history side of things. I always wanted to do a Roman film. I knew it was going to center around Crassus, Spartacus, Caesar, Pompey, that era. And so then it was just figuring out what story to tell that hasn't been told 100 times, basically, but also have good meaning behind it. And I found that story. And I had that story for probably 6 or 7 years, to be honest. So it's just sort of waiting for the right time. And believe it or not, the right time was when COVID hit. Because our film is 90% outdoors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that obviously helped with ventilations and
That's perfect.
COVID protocols and all that stuff. So yeah.
So did you, go for it.
Really, really quick. I want to ask him a couple questions, but we got to get to our comment section. So Boss Visuals Media Network, he says, it's the boys. We love you from Mr. Boss. You guys are doing awesome. I'm assuming that's El Rico. And he's got to come on with another one. Boss Visual Production. Hey, guys, great show. And then Logan Presley's coming through and saying the show must go on. Thank you guys for watching so far. We love you guys so much. Thank you for your support. CJ, can you give us like a brief synopsis of the movie without giving away spoilers? Because I want to watch it.
Sure. Yeah, I think if you watch the trailer, which is out already right now on YouTube, it kind of tells the story a little bit. Some sort of the same way. Like I don't want to like tell everything in the trailer.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate when Hollywood does that, but But anyways,
Well, a lot of the times they do that because they have nothing. It's not a good show, so they have to take all the
Yikes.
good bits and put it into the trailer. You know this. So-
Most recent Fantastic Four, absolutely. I mean, what?
I think the one that got me the worst, to be honest, was Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
oh,
Really? Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That trailer was
Venom,
awesome, and then you go and watch, and you're like, "What
Venom
happened?"
was really bad. Venom was really bad.
that's a good example of my most hated movie of all time. Y'all both probably haven't seen it. It's called Turbulence with Ray Liotta. And the trailer is amazing. It looks like this awesome movie on an airplane where the serial killer is trying to get people, and then you watch the movie and it's just dumb.
Huh.
And it was like they had a script, and then like 5 minutes into it, they were like, "All right, Ray, just freestyle it all. We'll be good."
Yeah, just do whatever you want.
It was terrible, terrible movie. But the trailer makes it look like it's gonna be dope, and it's definitely not dope. So anyway,
So Logan Presley saying Tobey Maguire certified best stance moves. If they could have edited all that emo Tobey Maguire out, I think it would have been a much better movie.
He's still my Spider-Man, though. I just, the third one just wasn't quite on par from the second one, which I think was probably the best one in all of them. But that's just,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the one with Doc Ock was solid. So.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So Eyes of a Roman.
Yeah. And so our story sort of takes place when Marcus Crassus, he's actually a general under Sulla, who Sulla at the time was kind of running Rome and having his own civil war with another fascist group, which I can't remember the name at the time right now. But the Romans are kind of marching outside of the Roman outskirts, and on the outskirts, one of their villages gets slaughtered and burned and destroyed.
Wow.
And there's only one survivor. It's an 8-year-old boy, and Marcus Crassus takes this boy under his wing and kind of adopts this kid. And he kind of uses him for his bidding. Now, anyone that knows about Marcus Crassus and the history, he was all about wealth and glory and trying to get to the top. And so he kind of uses this boy. His name is Atticus. And that's actually the character that I played in the film, the adult version. And my son actually played the younger version of Atticus.
Oh, cool.
Which was a lot of fun. And in short, what happens is he has my character go into Spartacus's camp to spy. That's why I have the long hair. And after a couple of months of being with him, I realized, like, you know what? These people aren't all that bad. Like, why are we killing and enslaving these people? And so I come back with a different outlook on the Roman method. And so me and Crassus start to clash. But what's fun about it is, like, while we're having this family turmoil of what's going on, this is the day before the final battle against Spartacus. So you have all this madness happening with family turmoil plus dealing with Spartacus. And it's just a really fun way to tell the story of Marcus Crassus and kind of what happens with Spartacus. Because even though Spartacus is in the movie, he's not a main character in the film, and that's what I really liked about it. It's a side story, basically, while that moment in history is happening. So
I love it. It sounds amazing. Where can we find this?
So right now it's been submitted to film festivals. So we're hoping Austin Film Fest picks it up. We'll find out in probably 4 weeks, actually. But once the film festival stuff is over, we have our first public premiere November 5th, and that's going to be in Kerrville. And they have the Kerrville Callow Theater there. It's an 800-seat venue, and tickets are already on sale. So if you go to the website, you can find the seat, and I'd love to meet you guys in person there. That'd be a lot of fun.
And where is this? Is this in Texas?
It's close to San Antonio.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's actually about 50 minutes north of San Antonio. Yeah, you stay on I-10 and head north, and you'll run right into Kerrville. Yeah.
Well, Jason knows what to get me for an early birthday present, so.
Well, we're already flying you down in October. I don't know if I can fly you down in November.
Who's we? Who's we? I'm
Sorry,
just kidding.
The team, my team.
I know. I'm joking with you, man.
They're in the back.
Right. Logan's saying adopts child from burning village. This won't cause any problems later. Beautiful. That's awesome,
right.
man.
Choices, right? Consequences. Right. All that stuff.
Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Oh, no. Also, and for your information, CJ, Trey actually lives in Kentucky. So he actually is way far away from us.
Oh, okay.
But
I would have to fly in.
Yeah, he'd have
That's
to
why he
fly
doesn't
in.
know where Kerrville is. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I was like,
I assume he was in San Antonio too. So
yeah. So, but that's amazing. And I said I watched the trailer and I thought it was awesome. And now I do have to ask you a dumb question.
Here we go. Drum roll.
You know, with all the amazing actors that you can find to play the main character, why do you choose yourself?
What do you mean? It's a gentleman's game. Of course he's going to choose himself.
well, what's actually interesting about that, to be honest, is I wasn't even planning on being in the film. To be honest, I didn't.
Oh wow.
I wasn't going to act, even though I do act on the side sometimes. That wasn't my plan. But as the film continued to get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, we got close to 250 people that worked on this film.
Oh wow.
For like a low budget indie film, that's kind of unheard of, especially in the Texas world. I was talking to my buddy about it, who was helping me with the project. I'm like, you know, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find a lead actor that's going to be able to work 4 months every weekend, because the lead actor of Atticus is in every scene except one, basically. And I was like, well, he's like, why don't you just do it yourself? And I was like, well, I could, but that's adding another hat, and I don't want to hurt the film in any way. You know what I mean?
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I had to bring on some really good, you know, crew members, you know, that kind of help. You know, first ADs, second ADs, all that stuff. I had like 2 or 3 second ADs, to be honest. And then just running through lines with my close friends. Les Best, he's actually the actor that plays Marcus Crassus. And he's worked with me on all of my projects.
Awesome.
And we've actually come very close. We're more like family now. And he's actually going to be playing Sherlock Holmes in my next film. And so when you have people like that, that are around you, that can kind of help you, and you know, when you fall, help you pick yourself up and kind of prepare yourself. That goes a long ways, and I definitely needed some of those moments where I needed people to, you know, help me and keep me going. So,
well, that's a very humble answer.
It was more of a business decision, to be honest.
Well, and I know
that's a tough call.
I know from your previous films, you're not normally the star in your films. So I was like, at first I didn't realize it was you, because your picture, your IMDb picture is totally different than your hair now.
Yeah, that was my younger self.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh well, I do that too. But it's just funny because I was like, oh well, that's just this guy. But then I realized, oh, it's him. But no, that makes sense. It's like it's a business decision, especially when you're shooting like that. Because I assume this is one of your longest shoots you ever had because of COVID, correct?
Yeah, so COVID really didn't affect us too much, to be honest. But what did, which you will know about this because you live here, is that 2-week snowstorm that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Did you take advantage of it?
Well, I wanted to, but everybody freaked out. They're like, you know, I don't want to get frostbite on my feet because they're walking around in sandals. I'm like, all right. But the red capes with snow would have been sick, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
And it snows in Rome, right? So
that'd have been like our 300 moment, you know, Zack Snyder-esque, you know.
Yeah,
man.
That was rough. Like it, Trey, I think we've had this conversation before. Oh, we were doing the show. It's like literally I had to shut the show down because it was like I didn't have internet because
you didn't have power.
Yeah, we didn't have. Yeah, for 2 weeks, like my house, the apartment didn't have power. Yeah.
Yeah, we were out at my house for about a week. So yeah.
Wow.
Texas is weird, man. We're just not prepared for snow. Like, what is this? What is this stuff?
Man, I guess that's about as crazy as Florida getting snow. So yeah.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk more about Eyes of Roman, but I want to hear the horror side of things. All right, what are your horror movies?
Oh,
go ahead. Oh, sorry, Jason. Go, Jason.
Well,
Jason.
give us a few more minutes on this, and then we'll talk.
Okay. Fine.
You can definitely ask all the horror movie questions. I warned him beforehand. I was like, Trey's gonna want to talk all horror. But that's cool. Yeah, no, it's fair. And now, one thing I have to say is, now the guy that plays the guy you were just mentioning, he also was Spartacus, correct?
No, so Les Best was Marcus Crassus. He's the old guy that slaps me in the face.
Okay.
You're not
Does
that
he
old,
really slap you?
Oh yeah. Like if you have those connections and you're comfortable with.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
I'm like, yeah, man, slap me.
So straight up, Three Stooges, just.
How does that feel to when you're somebody's boss and they get to slap you? Does it feel weird?
Sometimes they like it because if I piss them off, they're
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
my moment.
they
Yeah.
give it a little extra behind the backhand.
Especially
Yeah.
a guy that you've worked with in every single one of your films, there has to be some built-up aggression there.
Oh my
Sure with
gosh.
Les, Les and I, like, we're pretty cool. I'm sure there's some others out there. What was fun is so Ella Morrow, she is the female in the movie, which you've probably seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
She's another part of the character that goes on this journey, and there's another slap scene in the film, and it took her probably like 8 or 9 takes to get it right. So she just keeps slapping me. It's like, no, like
Jeez.
it's got to be like a harder slap because it was like, that's not going to work. You really got to put it in there. And so that
She
was a
just
fun
punches you
moment.
instead.
I know, right?
Well, and then as a director, right, you're like, I need the right slap. But then as the guy receiving the slap, you're like, can I be a little genuine, a little nice to my face?
It was fun. Like I said, we we had 3 weekends of fight choreography.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And so we all met up and we learned our movements and staging and all that. So when you're out there on the film, everything's already ready to go. Everybody knows what they're doing. And so when you watch the film, that was all planned. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to was it a lot more physically straining than you thought when you were like, all right, we gotta do this fight choreography, and you're in the movie, and so did you think it was gonna be easier or harder than it was?
It was pretty tough. I'm not gonna say I'm old, but I'm 40, and so my knees and my back, they're starting to go a little bit too. And there's moments where they follow me throughout the fight scene a lot because my character is that guy, and so I'm taking a lot of the shots. Right, I'm getting knocked down. I'm getting thrown off these little mini cliffs. I'm getting head butted, which that wasn't real. That was fake.
I was
But
about to say that's a little much.
but plopping on the ground, every time you fall and hit the ground, obviously that's me doing that. It wasn't a stunt guy. And so landing on Texas earth, which is mainly just rocks,
Yikes.
kind of painful. But we all were doing that though. Every person out there doing in this fight scene, they were doing it. And it just shows the passion of people in Texas, and the filming community, that they are willing and they want to be a part of a film like this, and so, that's just part of the arts, man. You just put your body through it, and you hope it comes through on film,
That's awesome. Now, when you consider the entire production, is there anything else that you really like? Man, I just love talking about this part of that production or this part of the cast or those kind of things.
Yeah, I think what became very special when I first started was we weren't 100% sure of how many, background actors or extras we'd be able to get for the big fight scene in the film. When I wrote it, the idea was to make it actually pretty small because the film's not about the fight; it's about the story between Crassus and Atticus.
Right.
But as we got momentum and more people became more interested in wanting to be a part of it, that grew into having just a small little montage of maybe 30 seconds to a 10-minute
Awesome.
battle sequence, which is pretty big when you think about it for
Sure.
a film. And so that was fun. But one thing that I really love about Eyes of a Roman is for each film I do, I have a private group on Facebook where all the cast and crew can meet up at any time, and we share information, we share pictures, moments from the film, behind the scenes stuff. And so it's just became pretty much like a big family environment. And yeah, man, you always hear about drama and stuff on set. I got to tell you, man, we didn't have hardly any on mine. It was very positive, and a lot of stuff has come out of this film already, and it hasn't even been released. I've had actors where it's this was their first film ever to be a part of. Now they've done 9 or 10 other films in a year, and they're going overseas, and they're doing all these things. And so it kind of originated from there for a lot of people. Obviously, they're doing the work. But but it's fun, man. Like people reach out and they still thank me, every once in a while, and just helping them getting their journey going, basically. So.
That's amazing. And so you're doing the film circuit, film festival circuit. Were you able to like get distribution before that, or is that thing you have to kind of wait as the film festival circuit goes? And I know that's changed since COVID, really how film festivals even work. So just talking distribution for a second.
Sure. You can do both. If you have like a big name actor, most likely you're going to have distribution lined up before the film festivals, because that distribution company is going to help get the film into those film festivals. And so that's one of the struggles that we have as indie filmmakers, where our budgets might be like 20, 30, 50,000, maybe up to 100, 200,000. And we're competing against films that call themselves indie films that get like 10 to 20 million dollars. And it's like, well, how do you compete with that? And you just have to have a really great film and a great story. But those are really hard to come by, and that's why you don't see like like the Blair Witches too much anymore, where that was like what, $8 or $9 grand they made that off of and took off, so it's challenging.
It was also before a lot of inflation today, and then in this economy.
Yeah, I think if you're an artist, whether it's film, music, drawing, whatever, you definitely have to love it first, and then and you just keep grinding. But with distribution, you definitely need to be careful. Just like in indie industry, there's definitely criminals in the distribution world where they will promise you everything, they'll give you nothing, and you sign something that says this is my film now for 10 years, and you can't touch it. And so if you don't read it or give it to an actual lawyer to look over, you can lose your film that you worked on and put money into, and they see all the benefits.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, you got to be super careful. So if you're listening to this and you're a filmmaker, do your due diligence, man. Get a lawyer to look over those contracts and just be safe.
I was going to say, you might have already answered my question I'm about to ask, but what is some of the kind of biggest struggles you faced so far making this film, or making films in general?
I think the hardest part is really just getting a return, money for your buck, basically, or if I said that right, but just making money off the content is pretty challenging. There's a lot of content out there now. I think AVOD is probably the best way to go for filmmakers. It's basically advertisements, that we see while we're watching TV, because they make money off of the advertisement stuff. It used to be like Blu-rays and like the red boxes, those are actually pretty well. Amazon Prime, when it first came out, I mean, that was pretty good. Like they were making like 40 or 50 cents an hour on stream.
Oh, wow.
For Jackson, I had over 500,000 people watch my movie. And so that would have been a pretty good payday, except when my Jackson hit the market, it was already down to 1 cent for like every 2 or 3 hour stream. And so now Amazon Prime moved into we're going to just take advantage of the indie filmmakers now. And that's unfortunate, because they were like our heroes. And then Amazon Prime just decided, no, we're just going to be like everybody else, and on all accounts, just not care about the indie filmmakers, basically.
Wow.
That's a bummer. Now, before Trey gets his way and we talk about horror movies and all the other ones, and that'll be my intro as well, I'm about to say in a second. But is there anything else when you think about Eyes of the Roman, or anything else you're just like, I have to mention this before we stop talking about it?
It's really just a shout out, man, to the cast and crew. Like I said, over 200 plus people worked on the film.
Wow.
We had crew members that were there every single weekend, traveling from Dallas or Houston, which is a huge commitment to be on the film. Tammy Anderson was our wardrobe. Susan Bowl was production designer. Derek Meir, he lives in Kerrville. We were out on his land. He's got like 1,600 acres of land.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, and what's fun about the Texas landscape? It looks very similar to their landscape. It's one of the reasons why I was able to make this film in Texas also. And I could name really everyone, but everyone on the cast and crew did an awesome job. Definitely takes a team. We had a team, and it stayed positive throughout the entire, filming experience. And I think that's why when you watch the film, you're going to see all that passion and love and effort come through on the big screen.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna make sure I can go to it, and then when I meet you, I'll just have Trey on Skype, and you can just say hi to him.
There we go. Yeah, that'd be great. I think the only thing I have, like it's November 5th, Kerrville Kylo Theater, man. I'd love to have everyone out and meet everybody. It's going to be a red carpet event, so you dress up, wear your
Oh
finest,
wow,
kind of like the Oscars, So,
sure,
Fancy.
that's sick. I gotta somehow find my way down in Texas.
That's well, maybe we'll figure it out by that time, Trey. But that's amazing. Now, Les, he was the dad in Jackson. Is that correct? Am I right there?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. See, I got him confused. See, the reason I got it confused is that you got the Spartacus guy is working with you for Sherlock Holmes, but as a helper or like doing creative stuff, right? Am I wrong on that?
So you're talking about Derek. Derek played Terrius in Eyes of a Roman. He's like another Roman soldier, and yeah, he's our production designer in Sherlock Holmes.
He was the dude with all the muscles, right?
Well, I had a few guys in there, but he wasn't Spartacus.
Okay. Like that
Spartacus.
one picture on the promo where the dude's hitting person. That's Spartacus, right?
That's Spartacus right there, shaking Crassus's hand. If y'all can,
because Spartacus is one handsome fella. I was like, wow, that's a handsome man.
Yeah, he's got the looks and he's got the muscles. And Elliot, his name's Elliot Baker, and he actually lives here in San Antonio now.
Oh wow!
And I actually met up with him a week or two ago for just a private screening, so he could see his scenes. And he was really excited, loves to film, and he wants to be part of Sherlock. So I'm sure I'll find a spot in there for him. So.
Yeah. Well, and for that purpose, because Les is in Jackson and Trey really wants to ask you all these questions.
Sure.
Now, Trey, have a fun time asking.
Finally.
More movies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's totally fine. No, yeah. So, what are some of your earlier projects that you made that were in the horror genre?
So, GH5 was my first film that I made. It was about an hour and 18 minutes. And it was the first thing I ever did. I didn't do a short film. I jumped right into a feature.
Wow.
And I got basically friends and family and a few other people that were crazy enough to join me. And Les was one of those. That's when I first met him. And we figured it out, man. That was like my big learning experience about how to make a film. It was really hard. It definitely wasn't the same experience of Eyes of a Roman. There was a lot of dragging through the mud and trying to figure things out. Jackson went to a new level. It's basically, in my opinion, was 20 times better than GH5. More how a film should be. There's definitely still some areas that need improvement. I think all directors, though, I strive to try to make the perfect film, and I don't know if that exists, but you just keep striving for that. And so, then I was going into a film called Goodnight Ellenby, which actually was going to be a very cool take on vampires.
Ooh,
because
that's my genre.
Well, I
good vampire movies, might I add.
Right, and so my opinion, like the last 10 or 15 years, like with Twilight and all that stuff, I'm like, man, the vampires are kind of getting a little cheesy.
Right.
And, my goal is like I'm going to bring them back to how they should be. And so I had a really cool story lined up, and we started filming that one before COVID, but then COVID hit and actually derailed that movie because I had it lined up with a university where we're going to be filming at the college campus. And so once COVID hit, that was over. And so that actually moved me right into Eyes of a Roman because we didn't need anything. We just needed land. So I might revisit Goodnight Ellenby. I turned it into a short film. That way it wasn't a waste for people that worked on it for those few weekends. And that's actually on Facebook. So if you type in Goodnight Ellenby, it'll pop up and you can watch that little short film there if you want to.
Awesome. What is what kind of happens again? Brief synopsis. If I watch these, I want to. GH5 and Jackson, obviously two separate films, but
Well, what's interesting, even though Jackson and GH5 can be separate films, Jackson is actually a prequel to GH5.
oh, okay.
And so that's like a little hidden Easter egg for people that actually like follow me or watch the films. And it's a cool connection because if you watch both of those movies back to back, you'll be able to find different things in both movies that connect both the films. But anyways, really what Jackson is, it's that's the name of the kid that's in the movie. And what happens right off the bat, it's not a spoiler because like it's in the credits.
Sure.
His name's Mr. Knight, and his wife passes away giving birth to their son. And on all accounts, Mr. Knight kind of holds a grudge to his son for some reason, where he feels he's the reason why she died.
Right.
Well, on top of that, he's also a professional paranormal person that goes around and finds spirits and ghosts and things.
Paranormal investigator.
And so probably around the age of like 7 or 8 years old, he realizes that his son can actually see spirits, kind of like Sixth Sense.
Sure.
And so he starts to use his son to his advantage to help build his business and his career. And in doing so, basically drives his son to madness.
Oh, wow.
And then it goes from there without going all the way
Right.
into the story.
Sure.
And so what you'll find with my horror films, they're definitely more psychological, and I dive into first the drama and the story aspect, and then I surround horror around that to make it more entertaining. I like to say it's sort of like The Conjuring. The Conjuring 2, if you watch those films,
Yep.
that's actually a love story between the Warrens. And then
Sure.
what James Wan did was just put horror around that heart of the story. And so I do something similar with my horror films. So
That's awesome, man. I'm like super excited to watch any and all of your films, and just to see kind of your creative take on movies, because there's a lot of, I'm sorry, there's a lot of directors that just cannot make a movie to save their life. Like, okay, so for example, I don't know who the director is, but have you seen It Comes at Night?
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Okay. From other people's perspective, would you ever watch that movie or have a desire to watch that movie?
I've almost clicked it on a few times. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't heard too much about it. My brother watched it and he's just like, "Don't watch it." I'm like, "All right,"
It genuinely sets you up for like something that's like new and like awesome. It's post-apocalyptic ish, and there's this virus that's going around and it's going buck wild, and the ending literally falls so flat. I've never wanted to not watch a movie again in my life. Like, it's that bad for a horror movie, and I love horror movies, and quite frankly, as long as there's great jump scares, I'm solid. It's a great movie. And it doesn't necessarily have to have like the greatest story, but the story doesn't make sense.
I think that was an A24 film. I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
A24, for me, that's kind of hit and miss on some of their stuff too, because they kind of go way out there on some of their things. But I do like some of their A24 work. Like Hereditary, I thought that was great. And, The Lighthouse and The Witch, those type of things. It's very psychological horror, though. There's slow burn.
The Witch. Oh, it was a good movie. That was a good one.
Yeah, very slow burn, but like unsettling. Like if you're really watching it, like crap, that's pretty dark stuff.
It is. I mean, it gets you wondering and stuff, but it falls so flat. It's just like, why did I pay for this ticket? Like, so I was just curious what your take on it was, but you have not seen it, so that's okay. But yeah.
So like I said, like, every filmmaker is different, but I think it's very important that you have the basics, beginning, middle, and end. And I'm very Spielbergish, style, where like the ending needs to be like super epic, and you kind of just keep building towards, that climax at the end of the film. And that's just how I like to do my films, though. Even though I can tell you with the Sherlock film coming out, since it's going to be an R-rated adaptation, and we are pulling from the books. I'm not doing anything crazy. If you read Sherlock Holmes, he did a lot of drugs. He did a lot of alcohol. He was in a lot of dark places, and he dealt with murderers, serial killers, rapists, like all these bad people. So like, well, if you're doing that for 50 plus years, that's going to have a pretty mental effect on you.
Ooh.
So we're going to dive into that rabbit hole and show an R-rated adaptation, which on all accounts, I don't think has ever even been done.
I don't think so.
I don't want to say it has, but if it has, I haven't heard of it or seen it. So we're excited for that, and that's going to be, again, the heart of it's going to be, it's not going to be like a love story, but there's definitely going to be a heart in the center. And there's going to be some really dark horror aspects to that. You can only imagine with like the hallucination type scenes I can do.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Before we move on to our next segment, and we probably have to, for the sake of time, what would you say to young content creators, directors, producers of any sort, if they're just starting off? What would a couple of words of advice be for them?
Well, definitely make a film that you want to see. Okay.
Pretty good advice.
Yeah. I think sometimes people make something they think that people would want to watch. But no, man, just make what you want to see. You're going to spend 2 years on this film if you're making a feature. So make sure you want to see this film. So that's a good start. And then on the technical side, you can do a lot of good things with camera, just with lighting. Focus on audio. If you have bad audio, you don't have a movie, man. So don't spend 2 years and have bad audio in your film. Make sure your audio is really good. So, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
That was awesome. Yeah, I said I watched a little bit of Jackson, and then I got freaked out because I don't do scary movies, and I was like,
phenomenal. It means I need to watch it.
I was like, I just send it to Trey, and Trey should watch it. But that's awesome, and I'm so glad you came onto the show. And it's really cool. I said I will make a plan to go see Eyes of the Roman. I've never been to a movie premiere, I don't think, so that'd be fun.
Really?
Not like not a red carpet one.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, me neither.
I know. I'm just saying. I've never done.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I did the audio test there last week, and it sounds like the mini IMAX. Basically, it sounds very beautiful. And my composer, Antonio Gradante, he lives in Canada, and he actually just got picked up by Disney about 6 months ago.
Oh wow! Okay.
He wrote and scored the entire film.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
It sounds beautiful. So
do you kind of hope that you'll be one of those movies, like, how they have these stars, how like you'll be a like Redbox or whatever, you'll be looking for a movie and it'll have a star in it, but like they were only like a little part, but they just happen to be a superstar now, like the whole Adam Sandler thing with that boat movie that I've never watched, or those other things.
So what was the question? I lost it.
I think he was saying, would you love to have one of your actors that plays a small part become the superstar?
Oh yeah,
and be known for that.
Yeah, I my hope is that anyone that works on my film, whether it's cast or crew, take off, and some of them are, man. Some of them are, they're taking off and they're succeeding and they're getting paid, and they're like on 1883 from Yellowstone. They're on The Chosen. They're on all these different things. Going overseas, Andrew Cortez. He works on films in Europe now, and my film was his first movie, so it's really cool to see people take off and basically live their life, live their dream, right?
Right. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, Trey, I do think it's that time.
What time are you talking about?
I think it's time for you to shoot your shot and try to get an acting job with CJ. Let's go. Do it. Your best move. Do it right now. Now,
CJ, do you need any voice actors? Because I know the best guy for the job. He can do Goofy. He can even talk like Mickey. No, I do want to get into voice acting eventually. I do all kinds of different crazy, kooky voices and whatnot. But anyway, I think what you're actually talking. Oh, CJ, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say, friend me on Facebook, man. I'll start tagging you. I get stuff from voice acting all the time.
Woo! Okay, well there you go.
your shot was shot, and it worked.
My shot was shot. There you go.
Yeah, he had one movie. We got him one gig, and it was a movie. What was it called?
No, it was a podcast show, but it was like a audio podcast. Like it was I can't remember what she called it.
It's like a old school radio show. It was like a drama gangster movie, but a podcast.
Yeah,
So,
it was a couple episodes. It was really cool.
He was a good bad guy in it. So
yeah, I was the scumbag that got killed. Anyway, you got to start somewhere, I guess. You said what?
Oh, I was saying spoiler alert. I died.
Right.
yeah.
It's okay. I'm a very minor character. But yeah, no, I think actually what he's talking about, Jason.
It's time for question of the day. Okay, cool. So we got a question
Voice
here
still
from.
on.
Is it really?
Yes.
I hate voice mods sometimes.
Wow, I clicked off. That's so stupid. I need to get a MIDI controller just for my voice mod now because that's frustrating. Anyway, question of the day from our boy Ed Green God. He needs to be on the show. Never been. If you had your human body, but the head of an animal, what animal would you pick? That's our question. It says animal. It didn't say anything about non-mythological or anything like that. So, CJ, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you could go the horror side or the Roman side, So, you could do like, Medusa was a female, but that'd be kind of cool. But
yeah,
I don't know if I had to pick an animal. Probably the lion head, I guess, like the male lion head. I think that's cool with the mane,
Oh yeah.
Stuff. So I think that's what I'm going with. What about you guys?
Like Aslan from Narnia.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, I want to hear yours next.
Well,
Walrus. Oh, Walrus. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. I'm just kidding. Go, Jason. Say it.
I'm a big guy. I have broad shoulders. I weigh about 300 pounds.
A manatee.
And I am not a small guy. And so I think the perfect head for me would be a bunny.
Oh, that would look great.
What?
Just a little bunny head.
Oh my gosh.
For a horror film, that'd be nice.
Yes.
That's tough. I mean, I would say dragon, but if we're talking in this day and age, man, that's tough. I don't know. An animal, a T-Rex. Hello, they existed. So there we go. Not saying dragons didn't exist, or there's no proof of that. Because I mean, right now we don't have any proof. But anyway, yeah, I would say a T-Rex or a Velociraptor. I'm trying to think of which one. Yeah, T-Rex has terrible eyesight, supposedly. Velociraptor, I'd say, is like amazing eyesight. But anyway, so that's my answer, and that's our segment of question of the day.
So your T-Rex would have glasses on?
Sure. I mean, if that's what he needed. I guess he'd have one of the strongest bite force in the animal kingdom. What'd you say?
Would he wear your sweet hat too? Since it's
Absolutely.
Your hat. Yeah, okay.
It'd be Treosaurus Rex at your service.
And I guess the sweet black nerd glasses.
It's like the lion roar. Have you ever heard a lion roar in real life?
No, not an actual roar. I've heard them like bellow, but not like.
So I was at the San Antonio Zoo years ago, and they're closing up shop, and they bring out the big sticks for the lions, and I heard this huge roar. I'm like, jeez. I was like, dude, that is legit. Like, no wonder they're the jungle, king of the jungle. It was really cool.
Terrifying.
It was really cool to listen to it. Because Spielberg used the lion voice for Jurassic Park. Some of that's in the T-Rex. So.
Right. Yo, that is definitely terrifying. I had a friend two friends. One of them works at the zoo. The other one is a close friend that was able to get like basically in their feeding area back in the background of the zoo where you don't see. And they said to never look at a lion in the eyes because it's it's to challenge them almost. So he did not obey that advice, and it roared, but it was indoors.
Wow.
And so he said, Trey, I've never been more terrified in my life. And I was like, and this is a big guy. Like Jason is a big boy. And he said he was terrified. So anyway, I believe you 100%, CJ. So that'd be an amazing animal head. Have a line. All right. Question of the day over with. Jason, it's time to move on.
All right, now it's time for us to do the rap song. I'm going to do a rap song about everything we talked about, but give me a theme, CJ. What's the theme of our song going to be today? It could be anything. It doesn't have to do anything we talked about. Just a theme, any kind of theme.
Interesting. Any type of theme. Well, why don't we go Roman?
All right, a Roman theme. All right, and is there any certain story I'm going to try to tell, or am I just going to kind of anything you can think of here?
Well, why don't you? I don't know how good your history is on that side, but it'd be kind of cool to hear you rap about Caesar and Pompey and Crassus and Spartacus. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but
wow. Well, all right, I know a little bit. We'll see how it goes.
March and all that stuff.
This is probably going to go terrible, but I'll try my hardest. What I'll also do
is rap about Hercules.
There you go.
Or Heracles.
What I'll do is, and then also I'll tell a story about Roman times.
It's more Greek, but
it might be fictional or not. We'll see how much memory I have. And then also I'm going to ask you questions throughout it. So all you have to do is answer either with a sentence or just a word. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need rhyme. I'll help you rhyme in that. And that's it. Or I might just ask you random questions about random things. It just matters where the song's going. But in general, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell a Roman themed story about this time. Facts might change because, this is a comedy show. So I have to make somebody laugh. Now, you know what though, guys? I do have my extent of knowledge of Roman stuff comes from a really great anime, called the I think it's called the Roman Bathhouse.
Stop.
About a time traveling bathhouse manager. It's very great. And that's
oh my god.
So we'll see how
we could switch to like Star Wars or something,
I know.
I want to see where Jason goes with this.
It'll be great. It'll be fun, whatever. So Trey, this is a Roman theme. Hook us up with something.
Do you want a slower beat?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. So really quick before I hop into it, Logan is saying being an actor / director sounds like a pain because you have to walk off set to look at the monitor.
Be careful with these, Trey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
He said Theban themed, Jason. Thebes. And he said Caesar, I hardly know her. Logan's a goofy guy. So cool. So CJ, do you have like a stage name or a nickname that you want to go by, or is CJ just what you want? You can totally make something up on the spot.
Or we can give you a name, your choice.
You can call me Atticus.
Ooh, okay, perfect. Phenomenal.
That's my character's name in the movie.
Phenomenal. All right, Jason, you ready to go, or do you need a second?
I mean, sure. Well, yeah, let's go. I've never been this tested. We'll see how it goes. So.
Yo, you got DJ Sound Effects, Scout the Psalmist, and Atticus on the mic. Let's get it.
Hey! It's the Roman times. We're back in Roman rhymes like the Roman chimes. But all these Roman crimes, I got these Roman times and these Roman rhymes. You got the Roman crimes and I can Roman lime. Now I'm sitting here pretending like it's all the same. Like I'm Caesar, chilling out, running this way. They didn't have salads then, but I give it again. Only if I'm eating grapes from a thing and I win. And I'm waiting for the way, but it never go. Atticus is just chilling out with his hair that flows in the wind. Only if he give it in. Then we got Spartacus. He's straight trying to punch him. He does not know when he comes back, and then it goes. Only if I rip it, cause I wonder what I know. What's your favorite Roman dude's name in the show or any show? I don't know. Tell me what you know, yo.
Julius Caesar.
Ooh, I like Vesuvius. I mean Julius, only if his name is Caesar, and I can't even pronounce it. I'm like a little beezer. Call me a beaver. I'm running for that wood, and you know that I would make it, cause I know it's all good. Sitting here pretending all the same, like I got the question in my brain. I think you still got your voice mod on, Trey. Only if I'm looking, cause I'm running away. Yes, I get it gone. Hey, sorry. Now we got Julius Caesar up in the mix. With this Roman moniker, yeah, I gotta fill it in. And I know Romulus and Rima, I don't even know who those are. If I could understand what I am doing running the star, pretending all the same. Now there they are, walking through the middle of their brain like they're looking for a hot tub. Over time, if you never get a spa, I get my mind to find my rhyme. Wonder what I'm doing if I try. Only if I get it forever, I never cry. Now, what kind of food would you eat if you lived in Rome? Tell me what that is, I don't really know.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti and meatballs already, Bofelli, and only if I get some fettuccine Alfredo and Arredo, but now you call me Alo. Now I gotta break it cause I still don't even know, yo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I messed this up terribly. Sometimes I rap it cause I fair me. Now you gotta fairly far, and only if I can't break it down, sing la. Got this song all together. Only if I'm looking for my time, like for whatever. Only if I can't see what I be. Guess that's my song and I'm so silly. But now I'm waiting back cause the Roman times, like I gotta sit in a hot bath. Yes, I'm going back to that, Trey. Don't you laugh and wait and run it back and say all the things I say. Anyways, I guess my song's done. Sometimes I'm thinking about the nighttime. Son!
Yeah. Good job.
Set myself up for failure there.
Romulus and Remus, I heard that, Jason. I was like, okay. He knows a little bit of history, or he Googled it immediately.
I Googled it immediately and had a list.
Oh, it's so good.
I was like,
Good
I need
stuff.
to try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It wasn't terrible. Sorry about, I didn't notice it until halfway through, Trey.
Dude, I didn't. I'm literally, that's so frustrating because I literally clicked off of it. So it has a sticky problem. I don't know. That's weird.
It's from the spill, man. Something happened.
I guess, man. I don't know.
All the
I
lactose.
hope not. I really hope not. That's a whole set of other problems. But anyway.
But thank you so much for everybody watching the show. I'll be having a great day. Make sure you come check us out next week. I think our time next week is probably going to be 5. I have a meeting at 6, so I need to make sure I make that happen. So,
Okay.
But that'll be different. But it's normally 5:30 on Mondays for the live stream. So please come out and check it out. Please join us. If you're looking for us anywhere, it's Flows, the number 4, the letter U. Everywhere you find podcast, we are there. If you're looking to be on the show, hit us up at flowsu.com and make sure you do that. If you're looking for a new website, make sure you go over to nomadweb.design, an amazing place to get websites made for you and your family and friends and your dog. Trey, is there anything else I'm forgetting?
No, if you guys want to hop on the show and be on with us and talk to us about whatever you want to talk about, easy for me to say, please hit us up at flowsu.com. You can message me and Jason separately. Where you can hit us up, and if you want to feature your question of the day on our show, please feel free to hit us up again on there. We need those questions of the day, folks. I can't stress this enough. I want to hear from you guys. I want to get the goofy questions out there, the burning questions that are on your head. If they're personal questions about me and Jason, whatever, we don't care. We'll take them all within reason. But that's pretty much it, Jason. I don't think we gave CJ a real, like, an actual plug. I think it was earlier a little bit, but
so. Yes. Now it's your time, CJ. Plug away.
You mean just like tell people?
Yeah, where can they find you? Where can they find your films, your stuff? Where they can find your social media, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm mainly just on the social media side right now. I'm just mainly on Facebook. So you can just look up CJ Goodwyn on Facebook. It's Goodwyn spelled with the Y on my last name, so it comes up pretty easily. Eyes of a Roman has its own Facebook page as well. In fact, all my films do. Jackson, GH5, all that good stuff. So you can go there. IMBD, I'm on there as well if you want to see all my accolades and things of that nature. And yeah, I think that's really about it. I have a website. It's called Trey Goodwyn Productions, but I don't use that too often, to be honest. The social media seems to be where everyone goes. So that's where I'm at as well. So.
And if you want, we would gladly love to help promote it. So if you want to do a show again to talk about the movie, or maybe have some of the cast on the show with us, we definitely can make that happen before your release if you want that. So
yeah, it'd be great. I know a lot of my cast members would love to come on for sure, man. They would enjoy that. So we should try again for sure later down the road.
Yeah. No, I said anything we can do to help, especially if, I was saying this earlier, anything I do to help people from San Antonio do big things, I want to be a part of that. So it's important to me because I'm in San Antonio. So, but yeah. But now it's the most important part of the show. We brought you in here really not even to do any of this interview.
Dude, whatever, man.
Because we needed you to work on Trey. And so now it's time of the show. It's our close. And you're going to be Trey's therapist. And please come up with the most absurd problems with Trey. And please let me laugh. And you get 3 questions and have fun. You're going to need to turn down the beats just a little bit, Trey.
Dude, are you serious? How is it that loud?
Yeah.
It's on 3.
All right. It should be fine then.
So I get to ask Trey 3 questions.
Yeah, and you can make up facts about his life as much as you like.
You can theme it around the show, or you can just pull it from your hat. I don't know.
All right. Any questions? Okay.
You're his therapist.
I'm your therapist. All right. Let's see.
Starting now.
Starting now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
You can make them goofy questions. It's fine.
I'll probably just keep it just fun, I think, for my knowledge. So, Trey, what is your number 1 horror film that you have seen that you like?
Good.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. My number 1 horror film, like I said, would be close to As Above, So Below, but I love Always Watching because it's a Slender Man documentary-esque theme, and I love Slender Man. So they keep it really close to like the Marble Hornets YouTube series, and I love it so much, and it's phenomenal.
Right on. All right.
So is the reason why you like this movie so much is that you yourself just want to be a Slender Man?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no.
See, that was a good therapy question. So now you can kind of dive into that, about the weight and stuff. But I'm not going to. So if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go see and check out, like your bucket list, like number 1 spot to go?
I have to say the deep dark woods because that's where you find Slender Man, right? No, I would say, it's so tough. I really want to go to Japan. I'd love to visit where I should have been born, honestly, if we're really talking here. But yeah, I love the culture. I am a huge weeb. I cannot speak a lick of Japanese, but yeah, I love manga, I love anime, and I just love Japanese culture. So, but honestly, anywhere out of the States would be nice, but Japan would be great.
All right. And if you had a chance to go back, would you go
here we go.
to 1999 Woodstock?
Well, here's the funny part, because someone was talking about this at work, and like there was like a leak or something, and apparently like it was from the sewage water, and a lot of people were playing in it and not realizing what it was.
They were.
Depending on the lineup, because off the top of my head, I don't know. Probably not though. I mean, but if I went, you said what?
It sounds like one of your weekend hangouts. Anyways, you just playing around and poop.
Wow, awesome! So, thank you, Jason.
And
going, well, that documentary I think is out on Netflix. I want to say the 99.
I should probably watch it then.
Check it out. But you're right; they did have the those commodes or whatever overfill, and they're playing around in muddy water. And,
that's so gross.
But you know what happened, man? It's they it wasn't like the chilled Woodstock, even though back
right
original was still people doing drugs and running around half naked. They brought on hardcore people like Korn and Limp Bizkit, and they were asking for it to have like this mosh pit mentality. It's like, yeah, that wasn't very smart on the business side. So if you watch the 99 Stock documentary, you'll see that the creators, they didn't even understand these bands at all. And like the little helpers were trying to warn them. Like, these are like heavy, hard-hitting bands. They're gonna be like,
oh wow.
And like, oh, it's fine. And well, it wasn't fine, right? So
yikes.
Anyways.
Logan Presley's coming in.
It looks like Logan's trying to audition to be on the show. He's happening.
Saying, so Trey, your daddy issues, what's going on there? I personally don't have any daddy issues. My dad's awesome. Also, my name is spelled Trey, just for those who are curious. But that's hilarious. Thanks for the question. I'm so dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, CJ, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on our show, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun.
All
right, Jason.
Have a great night. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We will see you next week. I don't know why I'm losing my voice, but we will see you next week, no matter if I'm here or not. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the button, and I don't know where it is.
Don't hit it yet.
Oh, yes, because, Trey?
Flows for you, flows for you.
It's what we do now. It's what we do.
See you guys.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you.